Hello everyone, we're back with pattern number 6, the fishing pole pattern. So what is the fishing pole pattern? Well, many of you have probably heard of the fishing pole trap, which occurs in the Ruy Lopez and in many other openings. So that's why I included it as a pattern, because this theme occurs a lot. So the point of the trap is that after white takes, black takes back, and after the knight moves, the queen comes in and helps deliver mate on h1. So it's a very aggressive tactical attacking pattern. So also note that the queen shouldn't necessarily be on d8 for this pattern to work. In many cases it's on c7, d6 and b8. The point is just that it has access to h2. But of course the fishing pole proper is the one that occurs after takes, and the queen comes here. And the point here is that you also have access to h1, while if you're on any of these squares, it's a fishing pole pattern-esque position. Okay, so one thing to remember is of course the h2 square. Way more important than the h1 square usually. And how the pattern plays out, we've already mentioned this. So takes, knight moves back, and queen h4 comes in with Chekos Ematos. So let's see our first sample game. It's a game that occurred between Oken and Stella. So let's see how it got along. We have this b3 Sicilian, which is a bit of a rare guest, of course, but it's not a simple opening to play for black. And here we get to see the fishing pole. So Stella was in a very aggressive mood. The sacrifice is accepted. Now, by the way, I forgot to mention that, of course, the sacrifice doesn't necessarily need to be accepted. Of course, usually it's quite bad for it to be accepted. But yeah, of course, when it's not accepted, usually there's something quite good for black, and when it's accepted, of course, it's completely lost. So playing this pattern is of course completely fine. Now takes, and the knight came in to e5. Queen h6. This is what we've learned. The queen needs access to the square. King f1 trying to escape, but black says no. Bishop takes g2 check. What a brilliant sacrifice. Completely winning, by the way. Of course, the bishop can't be captured because of another pattern, which I have not included in this series of videos, but will be included in the book, and not this book, which is a novel. So it's queen h3 check first. You don't check here because the king can run out, and you don't check here for the same reason. The king can run out. So first you deny all escape squares. Only g1 is now available. King g1 and queen h1 is mate. So instead, white tried to run away, but the queen is doing a good job of also covering this square, and this is also covered. And here black went for b5, which turns out to be a mistake actually. Black should have done this and played queen f4. But okay, we're not going to analyze this game, of course. It's just a sample game for a reason. So here white enters into this endgame where actually they're better, if not winning. They're just up a pawn, but black outplays them from here, and thus we're going to take a very quick look at this, just for those of you who may be interested and don't want to watch on their own. Just have me commentating, and yeah, like this is coming, and black won, and this is very sad, and this is coming as well. So that's for the first sample game. For the second sample game, we have a very cute game actually. Let me make sure everything is working. Okay, it is. So e4, e5, knight f3. Nah. What's this? I bet you guys are familiar. Yes, this is the famed what? Stafford Gambit, yeah, of course. And here it's not a fishing pole proper, but the idea and spirit is the same, with queen d6 here. And here, like, white tries to defend. Of course, taking would be met with taking and then this and stuff like that, or queen h2 immediately. So g3 also loses due to the pin. And this is a very famous video. I bet all of you guys know about it. Okay, for our first test, we have the following. So very normal Ruy Lopez shingamajigs. And here the question is, can white defend? or are they completely lost? Pause the video and try to figure that out. Alright, so for the full game, we have a very fun one actually. Curse from the Ruy Lopez. And alright, so for the full game, the famed Brian Wall is one who employs the fishing pole trap quite often as black. He's a 2200 rated player, so super strong. And here we get to see that actually, of course, the knight can't be taken, so to answer that question, but here white has knight a3, and with knight c2 and potentially knight e3 to just defend, or even like knight e1, knight d3, all of these ideas, with white's strong center and black's commitment to attacking on the king side, making their king very vulnerable in the near to long-term future. Well, medium. It means that white is actually much better here. So instead, white played bishop takes c6, which is inaccurate, and then knight takes e5 is also inaccurate, and then the final nail in the coffin is bishop f4, allowing g5, and yeah. Whoops, that's the next video. So yeah. And a brilliant sacrifice. Let's watch it more slowly. Bing, ba-boom, bing, ba-boom. And the rook can't be taken because of check here. And now, binga, g3. Shoosh. That's an alternative version of sheesh. Yeah. So yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. So this pattern, while not extremely common, but the idea of getting the queen to h2, it's of course very common. So the like fishing pole-esque patterns are very common, but the fishing pole pattern itself, maybe not so much. Yeah, maybe you can try this in the Ruy Lopez, even though in some variations it's not like super accurate. Yeah, alright, so thanks for watching, guys, and take care.